Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, as always, I love to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, and peace and blessings to all the brothers and sisters out there that's watching, listening, and learning. All right, so I want to do this video. As you can see, as you can see the title of the screen, the vow of a Nazarite, which this comes from Numbers, the sixth chapter. But first, I'm going to, just to establish certain things, talk about the vow for a bit, and go into some of our forefathers that were actually Nazarites, right? Because quiet as kept, a lot of brothers, a lot of sisters, they're not hip to this vow. Sometimes when I say or talk about being a Nazarite, some brothers don't be knowing what I be talking about, and even some sisters as well. So a lot of people don't know about this vow, this particular vow. And brothers asked me to do a video on it, which I'm just now getting to it. And the reason why is because usually when you hear people break it down, they say that you have to shave your eyebrows off um when your vow is over or when your vow gets broken, which that's not true, which through the spirit of the Heavenly Father led me to a precept to emphatically prove that last night as I was reading. And sometimes, that happens, you may want to do a lesson, but you don't have all the facts, you don't have all the precepts as yet to do that lesson. And you may not get to that lesson till 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 later on, right? Maybe weeks, maybe weeks later, maybe months later, right? Till you come across certain precepts that emphatically proves your point, right? So I'll get to that later. But like I said, I want to read a few precepts on our forefathers having that vow of a Nazarite, right? Which I'm here in First Samuel, the first chapter, and I'm gonna start. I want to get to the point here. I'm gonna start verse 9. Well, I'm gonna start verse 8. All right. So First Samuel 1 and 8, it says, "Then said Elkanah, her husband, to her, Hannah, why weepest thou? And why eatest thou not? And why is thy heart grieved? Am I not am not I better to thee than 10 sons?" So just to establish some context here, this is Elkanah, all right, the father of Samuel, and this is Hannah, all right, and also Hannah was the mother was the mother of Samuel, but Elkanah had two wives, all right. One wife, she could give Elkanah kids, children, but Hannah couldn't. Hannah was barren, right? And that's why she was grieving, because back in the ancient world, and even in other cultures now outside of America, right? Mainly, really, every other nation outside of America, if you couldn't bear no children, man, you were looked down upon, because not downplaying the sisters, but one of the major roles. Hey, look, we all have our roles, we all have our positions to play, and one of those positions or roles, which is not a light role, all right, which is not a light role. That is some tough work, motherhood. I give it to you sisters out there. I give it to y'all. Being a mother, nurturing, or that is not a light thing. So, this is no way, shape, or form downplaying being a mother. But one of the major roles of a woman is to give is childbirth, to give birth, right, to children, and that's a beautiful thing. All right. So in the ancient world, if you weren't producing any children, it was kind of like you was kind of looked at like, damn, like what are you even here for, type of thing, And our foremothers knew that, and that's why they were in great distress when they couldn't bear their husbands, their lords, children. All right. So this is her grieving about it. Verse 9. So Hannah rose up after they had eaten in Shiloh, And after they had drunk, now Eli the priest sat upon a seat by a post of the temple of Yahweh, and she was in bitterness of soul, and prayed unto Yahweh and wept sore. All right, verse 11, here goes the point. And she vowed a vow and said, O Yahweh of hosts, if thou wilt indeed look on the affliction of thine handmaid, and remember me, and not forget thine handmaid, but wilt give unto thine handmaid a man child, watch this. Then I will give him unto Yahweh all the days of his life, and there shall no razor come upon his head. This is the vow of the Nazarite. We're not allowed to cut the hair on our head. All right. We're not allowed to cut that. However long your vow is for, whether it's 3 months, 5 months, year, till death. A razor cannot come upon your head, right? You can't cut your hair, right? You have to let it grow, right? That's why, see me, I had braids, and I will forever have braids because I made a vow. I made a vow to be a Nazarite for life, all right? And now let me jump to Samson, okay? Because Samson was also a Nazarite as well. All right, when you read Judges, the 13th chapter, and I'm going to start at verse 1. All right, Judges 13 and 1. And the children of Israel did evil again in the sight of Yahweh, and Yahweh delivered them into the hand of the Philistines 40 years. And there was a certain man of Zerah of the family of the Danites, whose name was Manoah, and his wife was barren and bare not, so she couldn't have children. And the angel of Yahweh appeared unto the woman and said unto her, Behold, now thou art barren, and bearest not, but thou shalt conceive and bear a son. Watch this, verse 4. Now therefore beware, I pray thee, and drink not wine nor strong drink, and eat not any unclean thing. So the angel is telling this woman to don't drink any wine or strong drink. And because I'm not too hip to the science of everything about a woman's birth. Maybe a sister can put it in the comment section. If you want. But I believe, and just hearing from what my mother, told me, whatever you eat, whatever the woman eat, whatever the woman drink, that's what the baby is also drinking and eating as well. Or that's what the baby is also taking in as well. And I remember my mom telling me how she used to eat certain things, while she was pregnant with me, and those foods that she was eating, I love to this day. All right, some foods that she was eating all the time while she was pregnant with me, I love those foods. I love those certain foods. All right, so she, she drinking that strong drink. That means that Samson would have been intaking that, and that would have been good for him because he was going to be a Nazarite from birth. Watch this. So verse 4 again says, Now therefore beware, I pray thee, and drink not wine nor strong drink, and eat not anything unclean. For lo, thou shalt conceive and bear a son, and no razor shall come on his head, for the child shall be a Nazarite unto the Heavenly Father from the womb. See that from the womb, this child is going to be a Nazarite. So that's why I don't drink no strong drink, because whatever you intake, the baby's going to intake. And he shall begin to deliver Israel out of the hand of the Philistines. You see, so this was just to establish and just to show, just to give an idea of what this vow or what a Nazarite is. And anybody can be a Nazarite. A woman can be a Nazarite, and also a man can be a Nazarite too. This is just not subjective, to just a man. A woman can also be a Nazarite as well. All right, so that's just to give context to what a Nazarite is, right? So no razor, so no razor can come upon his head, um, and you can't drink strong drink or wine. So boom, now let's get into Numbers, the 6th chapter. Law of the Nazarites, right? Law of the Nazarites. And what people has to understand about the law too is, right? which I'm going to do a video on this. Every law does not apply to every Israelite. I'll say that again. Every law does not apply to every Israelite, right? Because you will see some people take certain laws out of context and say we can't do this or we can't do that. Like for example, eating the fat, right? You will often hear people say eating the fat of animals is wrong. No, it's not. It's only wrong when you're offering a sacrifice or offering to the Heavenly Father and the fat gets eaten. No, that's wrong because the fat is supposed to be burnt. If that's the case, that means that eating Passover, uh, that's wrong because by default there's fat in lamb. Lamb is one of the is one of the most fattiest animals. If that's the case, if that's the case, we're all supposed to be vegan or vegetarian. All right, we can't eat no salmon. Salmon is a fatty fish, right? So when you read in the law when it says don't consume the fat, that's the Heavenly Father talking to the Aaronites, the Levites. All right, which I'm going to do a separate lesson on that as well. Which through the Spirit, I'm going to be going into certain laws. I'm going to be doing videos on laws. Because and a lot of Israelites, a lot of brothers and sisters are not hip to the law, and that's fine. Hey, that's why us brothers, we study these things, right? So not so that law about eating the fat, that's not talking about every single Israelite. If you're just eating a regular dinner or a regular food that's not being offered as a free will offering or a burnt sacrifice to the Most High, that law of fat does not apply to you. But if you're dedicating or offering a sacrifice of an animal to the Most High, yeah, you better not eat that fat. That fat gets burnt, yes. But something that's not dedicated or given to the Most High as an offering or sacrifice, and it's a fatty animal, you can eat that. Okay, plain and simple. So this is all right. Number 6 and verse 1, law of the Nazarites. So this law only applies to the Nazarites. It says, and Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when either man or woman shall separate themselves to vow a vow of a Nazarite, to separate themselves unto Yahweh, he shall separate himself from wine and strong drink. See that? So you're being separated from eating, from drinking wine and strong drink. So heads up, if you know that you don't have the discipline to abstain from wine or strong drink, do not make this vow. Don't do it. All right. Do not break this vow. I mean, do not Slaki, do not make this vow. All right. That's a warning because man, if you vow to the Most High, man, family, just go ahead and get it. This is Deuteronomy, the 23rd chapter. Right, these things are serious. I made a video recently, not recently, but it was like a couple months ago. I made a video and it was entitled "Do not dang, what was it? Do not cash a check that you can't pay," something like that, and that was going into vows. Okay, because man, brothers would make vows, and man, I done been around to hear some stupid vows that brothers done made, but they have to hold dare to it. But I done heard and seen brothers make vows that are real strenuous and whatnot. Hey, but you have to keep it. You have to keep it. So this is Deuteronomy 23 and 21. When thou shalt vow a vow unto Yahweh thy power, thou shalt not slack to pay it. For Yahweh thy power will surely require it of thee, and it will be sin in thee. See that? It's sin in you. Let's read it in NOT. Deuteronomy 23 and verse 21. When you make a vow to Yahweh your power, be prompt in fulfilling whatever you promised him. For your power demands that you promptly fulfill all your vows, or you will be guilty of sin. See that you will be guilty of sin. Verse 22. However, it is not a sin to refrain from making a vow. See that? But it's not a sin to refrain from making a vow. So you don't have to make vows. You don't have to make vows. Right? Don't feel like, oh, well, hey, this brother doing it. Well, I got to do it so the Lord can do it with me. Nah, not everything is for everybody. So if you know you don't have the discipline, to put down a wine bottle, whatever, then don't do that. If you know that after a long week of work, you wanna cool out, you wanna you wanna sip something, you do that. Okay, that's what you do. Now, me personally, I made the vow at like 20 years old. Yeah, I believe I was 20. I believe I was 20 at the time. And mind you, so just a little backstory on me. I came into the truth at 18. I came into the truth at 18 years old, fresh out of high school. So I didn't have, the typical Jake experience in the world. So I wasn't exposed into doing what, typically what a Jake would do. Partying, drinking, smoking. I never done those things. So this was easy. So this was easy for me. This was easy for me because I never really drank like that. I had a couple margaritas or whatever, about like maybe like three in, my first Passover before I made the Nazarite vow, because I want to say I made my Nazarite vow in 2000 and I made it in 2018. Yeah, I believe I made the Nazarite vow in 2018. Let me see real fast. 1998. 2018. Yep. So I made the vow in 2018. So I was 20. So I was 20 years old at the time. 5 years ago, I made that vow. And like I said, prior to that, or my Passover, the first Passover, which was in, I believe it was 2017. No, that was 2018 as well. Just coming out of 2017. Right. Yeah. I had a little strong drink, but of course, that's what you do for Passover. Hey, but even then, even afterwards, I wasn't drinking like that. So this was easy for me. But if you know that you like drinking, that's something that you do, then don't do it. Do not make this vow. All right. So verse 23, it says, "But once you have voluntarily made a vow, be careful to fulfill your promise to Yahweh your power." See that? So that's what you got to do when you make a vow. So don't feel pressure because you see this person made the vow. You feel like you got to do it, or so the Lord can deal with you or whatever. Hey, listen, the Heavenly Father is dealing with everybody on their own individual scale. So that's something that I did because, like I said, I was never a drinker anyway. I was never a drinker anyway. I didn't have life experience to do those things. You know, so that's just something that I did. So don't feel like you had to do that because a brother would do that. Hey, look, I'm gonna be honest with you, brothers, because they looked up to me, they made Nazarite vows, right? In my old camp in Sakari, three brothers, right? Three brothers. They saw that I was a Nazarite, and they were asking me about it and whatnot, and I told them what it was, and I warned them too, Hey, but they made the vow, off the strength because hey, they saw me, so I know, so I know, you can look up to somebody and be like, well, if this brother's doing it, it looks like the spirit of the Most High is with him, so I'm gonna do it too. You don't got to be like that, all right? You don't got to do that, all right? So back to number 6 and verse 3, and I'm be reading it in the King James, and I'm reading NOT as well. It says number 6 and 3. And this goes back to what on the video that I was doing that I did the other day. All right, because just because a certain brother is doing something, All right, and he may give the advice that, hey, look, I want you brothers to do it too. You don't have to do that. That's not mandatory. It's not mandatory to do something that another brother's doing. Right? Like Paul, for example, he said, I would that y'all was like me. And what's that? A not married single. Hey, but if you want to be married, that's your own prerogative. If you don't want to be a Nazarite, that's your own prerogative. You don't have to be one. All right. So back to number 6 and 3 it says, he shall separate himself from wine and strong drink, and shall drink no vinegar of wine or vinegar of strong drink. Yeah, so there's uh specific types of vinegars that we have to stay away from. Like for example, the vinegar, that's used for a strong drink, wine, the vinegar that's used for like I believe the vinegar that is used for um vinegar chips, right? Stay away from those. All right, because there's different types of vinegars. Not a vinegar and ketchup, right? That's fine. All right, but there's specific types of vinegars that you do have to watch out for on the labels. Like for example, I can't have salad dressing. I can't have certain salad dressings. Okay, so you're a Nazarite, you got to make sure you got to make sure that you watch out for that. Certain salad dressings you can't have because of the vinegar that they use for wine. Okay, so it says, he shall separate himself from wine and strong drink, and shall drink no vinegar of wine or vinegar of strong drink. Hey, watch this. Neither shall he drink any liquor of grapes, nor eat moist grapes or dried raisins and grapes. So if you know that you love raisins, you love grapes, don't do it. Oh, I'm craving some grapes. Don't do it. Now, I kind of did mess up a little because it's this Benjamite dessert that I grew up eating, and it's called raisin rum pudding. All right, now it's not the regular pudding that Americans eat. Let me look it up. Jamaican pudding. If you're Benjamin, Jamaican sweet potato pudding. I grew up eating this, right? And Benjamin put rum and raisins in it, which of course you can make it without it, but the raisins and the rum really do it. The raisins and the rum really do it. That's like the icing on the cake right there. Those are the two main ingredients for this dish. Hey, but if my mom want to make it for me, hey, I'm gonna have to eat it without those things. Hey, because that's the vow that I made to the Lord. See, you gotta put your feelings and your emotions to the side, what you want aside, so that you can serve on the Most High. See. So reading it in the NOT now, it says, as long as they are bound by their Nazarite vow, they are not allowed to eat or drink anything that comes from a grapevine, not even the grape seeds or skins. All right. Oh, Salakia. Oh, Salakia. I was reading verse 3. My bad. Salakia. It says, they must give up wine and other alcoholic drinks. They must not use vinegar made from wine or from other alcoholic drinks. See that? So any vinegar that is made from wine or any alcoholic drinks, you got to stay from. All right. So like I said, there's different types of vinegars. So you gotta be diligent in that. It says, hey, yeah, hold on. It says they must not drink fresh grape juice, and they must not eat grapes or raisins. See that? So if you're a raisins fan, sorry, can't do that. Grape juice. Now, you have to look on the label of certain things. You have to see, being a Nazarite, hey, it's tedious. It is a bit tedious. You can't drink fruit punch. All right, you can't have fruit punch. Fruit punch, they'll put grape juice in it. Hey, check. Even in certain like cereal bars or certain cereal bars, so like, excuse my French, certain cereal bars or like oatmeal bars, things like that. Hey, look, you want to have to check the label because they may put something with grapes in it. Yeah, so it's tedious. You're gonna have to check the labels on certain things. Certain cereals you can't eat, right? Like Captain Crunch, that got the different the different fruit, the little let me go ahead and look it up. Captain Crunch. Yeah, see that? The little berries in it? What do you think that purple berry is? It's great. Great flavor. Can't mess with that. See? If you like Captain Crunch, you're gonna have to eat like the regular one. Let me see. This one. If you like eating that. But the ones that have the berries in it, you gotta stay away from that one. Can't have that. So, yep. And there's other things too. So verse 5 and verse 4, it says, all the days of his separation shall he eat nothing that is made of the vine tree, from the kernels even to the husk. Verse 5, all the days of the vow of his separation, there shall no razor come upon his head until the days be fulfilled in which he separated himself to Yahweh. He shall be holy, and let the locks of his hair of the hair of his head grow. And the locks, that's just talking about your hair, all right? That's not talking about dreadlocks. All right, that's not talking about dreadlock. That's talking about a lock of your hair. Like when somebody said a lock of your hair, that's just talking about a part of your hair. See the hair, locks. Let's go ahead and look it up. What is what is lock of hair? A lock of hair is a piece or pieces of human hair that are usually bunched or tied together in some way. All right, it's not dreadlocks. Just a piece of your hair, because our forefathers didn't our forefathers didn't have dreadlocks. All right, that's a heathen custom. All right. So back to Numbers chapter 6 and verse 6 now. All right. So again, that's why you see me, my hair, I haven't cut my hair since 2018. All right. And my hair grows kind of slow, so you may say, damn, my braids isn't that long, but yeah, my hair grows, genetics. But yeah, so you can't touch your hair whatsoever. Verse 6, you gotta let the fro grow out. Whether you have a fro or whether you get braids, you just can't cut it. So verse 6, it says, all the days that he separated himself into Yahweh, he shall come at no dead body. So you can't come in contact with a dead body. If you come in contact with a dead body, over. You have to restart your vow. You have to cut your hair and restart your vow. Verse 7, he shall not make himself unclean for his father or his mother, for his brother or for his sister when they die, because the consecration of his of his power is upon his head. Yeah, because your hair is now holy. Your hair is holy. All right, so now you can't go to funerals. So if your best friend dies or whatever, you can't attend to his funeral. So prepare to lose friends over that. If you was to ever become a Nazarite or certain family members, right? You can't even attend funerals. That's over with. You will be unclean. All right, let's see what it says in the NOT. It says, even if the dead person, hey, look, and they must not go near a dead body during the entire period of their vow until Yahweh. And this is talking about the human body. Verse 7, even if the dead person is their own father, mother, brother, or sister, they must not defile themselves for the hair on their head. It says they must not defile themselves, for the hair on their head is the symbol of their separation to the Heavenly Father. This requirement applies as long as they are set apart to Yahweh. You see that? So, yeah. Hey, like I said, there's some things here in the scriptures that may seem harsh, but hey, it is what it is. This is a part of it. So if you make this vow, you gotta keep these things in mind. All right, you can't attend funerals, can't eat grapes, no strong drink, none of that. Verse 8. All the days of his separation, he is holy into your house. So you're holy. Verse 9. And if any man die very suddenly by him, and he have defiled the head of his consecration, then he shall shave his head in the day of his cleansing. On the seventh day shall he shave it. So in context, this is talking about the hair on your head. The hair on your head. It's not talking about your beard. It's not talking about your eyebrows. It's talking about the hair on your head. Now watch this. Watch this precept that I came across last night. Leviticus 14:1, the law of cleansing of a leper, right? Watch this. Watch this. If the Most High wanted our eyebrows and the beard to be gone too, he would have specifically said that. He would have specifically made sure that was included in there. Watch this. Leviticus 14:8. Now you can read the whole chapter for yourselves. I'm just hitting these 2 points. It says, and he that is so this talking about the law of the leper. It says, and he that is to be cleansed shall wash his clothes and shave off all of his hair. See that? So the Heavenly Father would have made it clear if you wanted all of your hair gone everywhere, he would have said that. Watch this. And wash himself in water that he may be clean, and after that he shall come into the camp and shall tarry abroad out of his tent 7 days. Verse 9. But it shall be on the seventh day that he shall shave all of his hair off his head, and his beard, and his eyebrows. Even all his hair he shall shave off, and he shall wash his clothes. Also, he shall wash his flesh in water, and he shall be clean. See that? So you see how the Heavenly Father is oriented. He's detail oriented. If he wanted the eyebrows and the beard to be shaved off in the Nazarite, he would have said that. Brothers got to stop asserting things in the scriptures. See, got to stop adding to the law. It just said that the hair of his head, that shit, that's it. See that? The hair of your head gets shaved off. If the Heavenly Father wanted the eyebrows and the beard gone, he would have said that. He didn't say that in number 6. All right. So if you defile your Nazarite vow, all you got to do is shave off the hair on your head. That's it. And if the Heavenly Father wanted eyebrows and fucking the hair on your arm, your right armpit gone, he would have said that. All right. So boom. So it says, and if any man die very suddenly by him, and he have defiled the head of his consecration, then he shall shave his head in the day of his cleansing. On the seventh day shall he shave it. All right. So let's read 13 to conclude. It says, and this is the law of the Nazarite when the days of his separation are fulfilled. He shall be brought into the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. All right. So that's the vow of the Nazarite right there. Yep. So that's it. All right. So, if you want to do that, then you do that. If you know you struggle with certain things, then don't do it. All right. Any questions about it? Just ask in the comment section below, and Yahweh Ratazah, I'll get to it. So Yahweh Ratazah, you brothers and sisters were edified. Till next time, Shalom.